I'm going to turn off the light. Okay, so we're into the last week of working with linear equations, linear modelling, and what that means is actually looking at multiple lines at the same time. So what we call simultaneous equations. There's a whole chapter of this textbook on what we call solving simultaneous equations graphically. I'm not going to ask you to do that, but I do want to look at what it actually means so that you know when you're solving them algebraically. Thanks, Nate. You know that when you're solving them algebraically, what it is you're actually doing. So you can see on this graph here is we have two straight lines, and by now you should be really well familiar with the equations of straight lines, whatever it is, y equals 2x, y equals minus 3x plus 5. A straight line has an equation that's generally of that form, and that's what we've been working on up to this space. Here, what we've done is we've graphed two equations on the same graph. First of all, we've got what looks to be, or what's labelled as, an income line. So that makes sense, right? I don't know what it is we're selling. I don't exactly know. I could work out what the purchase price is, but basically it makes sense, right? The more we sell of something, the greater the volume of sales, the more money we make, and someone's graphed that for us. But at the same time, we also have a line here, the dotted red line, that represents expenses. Can I just get you to shut the door on the way out? Thank you. We have a dotted line here that represents expenses, and that's a different straight line. And it makes sense too, right? That as you produce more things, that the cost of producing them goes up. But notice here that the cost of producing the things actually goes up at a lower rate than does your income. So what that means is that once you get to this point here, your income exceeds your expenses. That's what we could call in business a break-even point. Here, in maths, that's the point at which the lines cross. And when you solve, and one thing we're going to look at is solving equations simultaneously. So where you've got two lines and the equations of two lines, you can solve them simultaneously to find the point at which they cross, and that's something that we're going to do. But here you can see that we've done it graphically. And every sale after the 100th one is going to make a profit for this company, which is a good reason for them to know why these things cross. So we'll stop there as the end of the first